Everyone's calling it good news for Bitcoin. Inflation numbers are down, Wall Street is cheering, and analysts say rate cuts are coming. But here's the million-dollar question. Why isn't Bitcoin exploding yet? While the crowd celebrates short-term data, smart money is quietly watching something deeper. Liquidity, ETF flows, and a silent shift in global capital. The next big crypto wave won't come from hype. It'll come from a trigger most people don't even see yet. Before you scroll away or chase another altcoin, stay right here. Because in the next few minutes, I'll break down what's really happening behind the charts, where the big money is positioning, and how to turn this quiet market into your first automated income opportunity. You know, most people get caught up in headlines. Inflation's down, the Fed might cut rates, Bitcoin could explode. But here's the truth I've learned after years in this game. Liquidity is what really moves markets. Not the noise, not the hype, just money flowing in and out. And if those rate cuts actually land between late 2025 and early 2026 like many expect, we could see a flood of new capital pour into risk assets and AI-powered trading systems. Picture that. Smarter money, faster decisions, automated profits while you sleep. That's the wave professionals are waiting for. Not hype, but timing. Have you ever missed a rally just because you focused on the wrong signal? You know, most people get caught up in headlines. Inflation's down. The Fed might cut rates. Bitcoin could explode. But here's the truth I've learned after years in this game. Liquidity is what really moves markets. Not the noise, not the hype, just money flowing in and out. And if those rate cuts actually land between late 2025 and early 2026 like many expect, we could see a flood of new capital pour into risk assets and AI-powered trading systems. Picture that. Smarter money, faster decisions, automated profits while you sleep. That's the wave professionals are waiting for. Not hype, but timing. Have you ever missed a rally just because you focused on the wrong signal? It's funny. Inflation numbers look good, but money isn't rushing into crypto just yet. Most of it is still flowing into US stocks, where investors feel a little safer. I get it. Traditional investors want confirmation, not speculation. They're waiting for the Fed to make the first real move before committing. But here's the thing. By the time those signals are clear, the smart money has already positioned itself. One of my clients once said, "I wish I'd acted when things looked uncertain. That's when the real gains were hiding." The market rewards courage wrapped in discipline, not comfort. So if everyone's being cautious, maybe that's exactly when you should start paying attention. You know that quiet stretch when everyone says, "Nothing's happening in crypto"? That's when the real players start moving. When the charts go sideways and retail traders stop checking their apps. Professionals are quietly building positions, accumulating before the noise returns. I've seen it so many times. Markets get dull, people lose interest, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, a breakout erupts. It's like watching a calm ocean right before a storm of opportunity. The secret is not to fear boredom, but to use it. That's when you plan, automate, and let your strategy work. Because in trading, just like in life, patience is the edge that separates those who wait for luck from those who prepare for it. ETF flows tell a story most people overlook. Bitcoin only pulled in about $99 million, and Ethereum actually lost $93 million. But that's not necessarily bad news. It's not panic, it's pause. Markets breathe too. When investors stop rushing in or out, it means they're waiting for clarity. And that calm often comes right before the storm. I've seen it over and over. Once conviction returns, the inflows hit fast, the charts light up, and everyone suddenly wants back in. But by then, it's already too late to catch the early wave, so don't mistake silence for weakness. It's often the quiet moment right before momentum wakes up. The US-China trade deal that's being discussed right now could quietly reshape the entire inflation outlook. Think about it. If tariffs stay low, the Fed gets more room to breathe, maybe even cut rates sooner. But if tariffs spike, prices rise, and the Fed's hands are tied. Either way, traders should be watching this closely, because these decisions ripple across every market, from stocks to Bitcoin. I've seen this before. One policy headline out of Washington or Beijing can flip sentiment overnight. So instead of chasing rumors, focus on reaction. Markets don't move on news. They move on how investors interpret that news. That's where the real opportunity hides. Right now, Bitcoin's chart looks calm. But beneath the surface, pressure is building. It's sitting inside a tight triangle pattern, a classic setup before a big move. When price compresses like this, it's like a spring being wound tighter and tighter. Eventually, it snaps, and that's when the real action starts. Whether it breaks up or down depends on where most traders have placed their stops. If they're stacked above, we could see a short squeeze. If below, a long squeeze. Either way, the move will be violent and fast. I've seen traders get wiped out here simply because they mistook quiet for safety. Don't guess the direction. Prepare for both, and let structure guide your next move. Ethereum's moving almost in perfect sync with Bitcoin, like two dancers following the same rhythm. It's consolidating, holding its ground near key Fibonacci levels, and quietly gathering strength for what could be its next major leg up. I often tell my clients, don't waste time predicting. Spend that energy preparing. Smart investors map out their zones, where they'll act, not just react. Because when ETH finally decides to move, it won't give you time to think twice. Imagine the price snapping out of this tight range, and everyone scrambling to catch up. That's why real strategy isn't about guessing the top or bottom. It's about being ready when opportunity finally knocks. For professionals in their 30s, 40s, or 50s trying to build passive income, this type of market is a blessing in disguise. You don't need chaos to make money, you need structure. Volatility may grab headlines, but consistency builds wealth. That's where automation comes in. AI tools can track trades, log performance, and adjust risk while you focus on your life and career. One client of mine told me, "It feels like my portfolio works while I sleep." And that's exactly the goal. Not chasing every candle, but creating a system that compounds quietly. Because financial freedom isn't about speed, it's about setting up machines that never stop working for you. When the news says, nothing's happening, that's exactly when the smart money moves. Markets don't sleep, they just get quiet before the next wave. In these calm stretches, algorithms are collecting data, disciplined traders are refining entries, and patient investors are building positions no one notices yet. I've seen this cycle repeat for decades, the silence before the surge. It's the moment when wealth quietly shifts from the impatient to the prepared. So if you're feeling bored or uncertain right now, that's your signal to lean in, not step back. Because when liquidity returns, it rewards those who planned during the calm, not those who only react when it's loud again. So here's the truth. Markets will always move between noise and silence, but the ones who win are those who learn to listen between the lines. Whether it's Bitcoin hovering in a range or inflation softening in the headlines, remember, wealth isn't built in chaos, it's built in preparation. Every calm phase, every slow week, is your chance to plan smarter, automate your income, and build freedom that doesn't depend on luck. If this message resonated with you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this today, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep, practical insights on crypto, automation, and financial independence. Because the next wave of opportunity starts with awareness.